Pick the Nintendo Shack and pray. Frederick from Fire Emblem Awakening says, yo.
Greetings, Koopalings. Welcome to this week's episode of the Nintendo Shack podcast. I am joined here with my co-host, Dr. Bland Explosion. How are you doing, Garret?
Hello. I'm doing good. Can't complain. It's been a week. Another week has gone by. Time is flying fast. How about you?
We were just saying how we can't
Yeah.
believe that it's already close to the end of May.
I can't
Yeah, this
believe
week has been wild. I feel like this whole week I didn't even realize what day of the week it was because we had an in-service day at work on Tuesday, so there were no students. We were doing professional development. And that just throws everything off because then the next day when the kids come, everybody thinks it's Monday, and it just throws off the whole week. Everybody was wild, and it felt like Friday on Thursday, and then today was Friday. It didn't feel like anything, but it was just busy, and I didn't get a whole lot of gaming time in, but we made it through the week, and now it is the weekend.
We made it through the week. Yes.
And I can't believe that that June is approaching.
June is approaching. Now you're almost done with the school year, right? Is it the end of the month for you?
So for us, we go until like mid-June. The last day for the students is the 17th. It's always right around E3 time is our last week. The students have half days, we have full days, and then all of the staff have to make up the snow days that we had. And there were a lot of snow days this year. So we as the staff have to go until I think like the 21st or 22nd or something like that.
What do you do afterwards then?
Like just nothing. Like they give us workshops and more professional development and like packing up the classrooms and offices and stuff, and it's time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I know the bureaucracy behind it. My mom's a teacher in Texas, and they're like, oh, you're required to do all these trainings. I'm like, guys, come on. Like, is it really that effective to do?
We have trainings all throughout the year. Like, it's really just, the time that we have to do. But you know what? It's going to be here fast. In some ways, I'm kind of sad to end the year. Like, just ending the year is always like kind of a bittersweet feeling because then you don't get to see the kids for so long. But but I'm also ready for it.
You're kind of ready for the summer, right?
It's been a wild year. I feel like we're finally starting to feel all the effects of COVID, like in the students now, like just with academics and behaviors and the
do they feel behind?
So-called immaturity. Yeah, like they feel younger. They feel like, we're seeing it. And I think there's a lot more anxieties and the coping skills just aren't there that they normally
keeping
would
a kid inside of like a house for like that long, all cooped up on like a tablet or screen, like for 7 or 8 hours. And then of course, afterwards, what they're gonna do, they're gonna play video games, they're gonna be inside the house more. I don't know.
Not all of them. Like some of them you can tell really have been flexible with it and have been good with all of the changes and stuff and transitioning back into school, but some of them just really like the social deficits and whatnot. But we're managing.
You're managing.
Yeah. Cool. But I didn't do too much gaming this week, in short, because it was so busy. But I do want to talk about what I did on Sunday. A lot of you were able to tune into. I'm starting kind of a new stream series that's going to be called Year in Review, 1990X Year in Review. And so what my plan is to have about once a month, have a new guest on my stream. And the guest is going to pick a year in gaming history. Like they can pick any year that has video games in it. And we just do a deep dive into that year and do kind of an analysis of like, what games came out that year? What were some of the biggest gaming events of that year? Was there anything notable that happened? And, what the guest experience was with that year. And so I had the first episode on Sunday, and I invited
Nice.
Derek Bittner of Good Vibes Gaming onto my stream, and he picked the year 1990. So we talked all
Wow.
about that year, and we really dove into Super Mario Bros. 3, which is his favorite game that came out that year in the United States. And I'm really excited about this project. It is, you can currently watch that episode as a VOD on my stream, and then I am in the process of sticking that on YouTube. I'm going to have them in both places.
Cool.
But I'm hoping to do that once a month, and hopefully by the end of it, I have a cool collection of like some of the best years in gaming of, you know, all the different perspectives from different guests.
That's super cool. And so this is just the 90s right now?
Well,
Or
it can be anything. So my show is
okay.
called 1990X, but really that's just an Earthbound reference.
Got it.
But they can pick any year. They can pick 2015. They can pick 2001. They can pick
Okay.
1985. They can pick any year that there's. They can pick 1979. I don't know what games there are, but Pong or whatever.
The Magnafox
There's
Odyssey.
probably not a lot to talk about for those years. As you can see, there would probably be more games to talk about in like 2000, you know, 2010 or like 1998 or something like that. But they could pick any year. We could be talking about 2020, you know, I don't know. But I have some ideas for guests who I want to invite. Hopefully they are into the idea and will say yes to it. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes. It was very experimental, this first episode. So
yeah.
I'm already planning the next one.
So do you like plan up like, okay, these are the games I want to talk about as you go into the episode?
Yeah, so I asked Derek, I said, you know what, think about what year you want and just let me know, like, at least, you know, a couple days beforehand. He told me like maybe a week or so beforehand. And then I was able to, you know, just do a deep dive myself into the year and make up a
Okay.
list of games. You know, I told him, you know, what games do you definitely want to talk about? And he gave me a list. And so I added some more to that. And, you know, just kind of dove into like what was going on that year and games that would be cool to talk about. And like kind of setting the scene for like what the world was like in that year, like in 1990,
Oh yeah.
you know, what was going on. So it's cool. I think
That's,
it's a cool little project, and it's teaching me some stuff too that I didn't know. And hopefully
yeah.
people listening learn stuff too.
I'm sure. So some of these episodes I do with Ryan over at the RPG Cave, we do like these publisher episodes where we go back to like the beginning of these companies, like to the 1980s and 90s, and like, hey, this is when, you know, this RPG studio started and this is where they are now. It's like super crazy to see. I'm learning a lot too. The doctor is learning as well.
And John 32 in chat brings up before you were born. Yeah, I was not born for 1990, so but Derek was. So like he was talking about like his experience in 1990 growing up and what that was like for him with games, and then me going back to some of those games, you know, as I was older, because I wasn't obviously around then. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm excited to kind of see where this goes. But I'm glad that first episode went well. I was very nervous for it. And then again, I feel like I am not playing. I'm like talking about games more than I'm playing games.
That's fine.
But something else that I just want to like pitch here that I have going on currently. If you remember, I did that Zelda panel at PAX East last month.
Yes.
And we have the footage for it. We have, you know, it was recorded. They sent us the audio. Michael Super Zambezi, who was on here, who was also on the panel, did a really awesome job editing it and like putting it all together. So we have that as like a nice video now, and I'm going to be showing that on my stream on Sunday. So if you want to see the panel, if you weren't at PAX, you want to see it, you want to hear it, we have it in its entirety. I'm going to be showing that on my stream at ForestMinish, twitch.tv/ForestMinish on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, there you go. That's super cool. I wish I could see it, but I'll probably be busy I'm mostly busy during the weekend, so yeah.
Yeah. Well, you'll be it's on, you'll be able to see it on
It'll
YouTube.
Be on
it's
VOD.
on his the
it's
VOD,
on
and then
YouTube
it's on
okay.
It'll be on Michael's YouTube, yeah.
Cool. Sounds good.
I'll put the link to it. I'll include all of that. I'll put that in the PSVG Discord and whatnot.
Nice.
But yeah. So hopefully I will be playing more games. I don't know, like what I don't know what I'm gonna like jump into next. Honestly,
I mean the next
Swords. I finished that on stream.
Something on Switch, like anytime soon for you?
I'm like debating picking up Mario Strikers like in
Okay.
like 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. But like that's
Yeah.
a couple weeks away. I don't know if I'm gonna pick that up yet or not.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's not much of a lineup for you on Switch compared to like my interests, because I have the opposite problem. Like, I got games coming up I really want to get. I really want to get Fire Emblem Three Hopes. I really want to get
Mm,
Xenoblade 3.
mhm.
And I'm like, well, do I
Well,
have
I
the
have some
time?
coming up, but like it's in summer. Like I'm gonna get the Live Alive. What did we say we were
You're gonna
talking
get
about?
Live Alive. Cool.
I'm gonna get Live Alive. I'm gonna get Omori when it comes out. I'm gonna get
Hmm.
I think that also comes out in June or July. I'm gonna get the Quarry.
The Quarry,
I
yeah.
don't know if that's coming. I don't think that's coming out on Switch. I
It's
think that's
not.
coming out on like PC, PS5. I don't know where I'll get it.
Yeah.
So I have some stuff coming out, but like not till like later, like not till next month or a little bit later.
Yeah. All right. Well, just keep doing what you're doing, I guess.
Yeah.
You know,
I can always find stuff. I have a backlog miles long. I just gotta like figure out what I'm in the
you just
mood
gotta
for.
reach into the depths of
I
that
don't know what
backlog and
I'm
just
in the
pull
mood
one out.
for. I need to pick something.
Yeah, I don't know if there's too much thinking with that. I just have a plan just because I know what I want to play next. But yeah, I've been in that vibe too, where it's like
Mhm.
I don't know what to do. I can like you can get into a game and see if you feel for it, but at the same time, if you try too many games, it's like, oh, I'm wasting my time. I'm doing all these
Yeah.
different games.
I also
I don't
just
know.
feel like you know, so busy at work and I'm just so exhausted when I get home and like I know
Yeah.
that I use video games to relax, but sometimes I'm just way too tired to like pick up something and like put in the effort. Like I would
Well,
rather
yeah.
yeah.
Video games take a lot more out of you in terms of entertainment compared to like a
Mhm.
movie or a show. Like
Yeah.
I totally understand. Like after a full work day, being out in school and coming back, it's like,
I come
no,
home
I
and
just
I
want to lay
nap.
on the couch.
Yeah.
You nap. See, there you go. Or just like literally like just slouch on the couch and just watch TV. It's
So,
like
like,
it totally
maybe
makes
that's a
sense.
good thing that a lot of the games that I wanna play are coming out, like, later June and July and
Yeah.
stuff, because that's, like, when I'm actually gonna have time to play everything, so maybe that's a good
Hmm.
thing. But in any
Yeah.
case, what have you been up
Cool.
to? You've been playing
Well,
games.
I've been playing a lot of games. um, so I just want to get the of course the regular one out. The Shin Megami Tensei 5. As you can see, my tag here, I'm a loser still because I haven't beaten it yet. Rebecca,
Nothing wrong with that.
I am 75 hours in. Another 12 hours after
Yeah.
I am
I should, like, be writing this down. Each week, Garrett has so and so
exact I
hours
hope someone
so that we
tally
can
this.
track it.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
He has 3
and
more hours this week than last week.
right. Um, so I was level 70 last week. I'm level 86. Level 86.
Oh my
I can
gosh.
I'm there. I'm at the end. Like I can go straight into the boss and do an ending if I wanted to and beat the game. Like I
Okay.
could do that, but I am going with my like instinct or like my ambition to, you know, do the true ending, the true neutral ending, whatever that is. I've read the guide back and forwards and backwards. I don't care about spoilers anymore.
I was
I'm
gonna
trying
say,
to
you
figure out how
know
to
what
beat this game.
happens.
I know exactly what happens. I don't care. Hey Donnie, he's in the chat over here. But anyways, yes, I'm almost done. The thing is, this optional boss that I need to beat is way over leveled. Like obscenely over leveled compared to the other final bosses at the end here. So I have to like grind this game all the way to the end, and then after I beat this optional boss, I think I'll be just like just go straight to the ending there.
So
So
next week it will be beat.
I think so. Yeah. Well, no, I'm at the
Ooh.
end. Like I beat every single level. I've done every single side quest. I have gotten to the end. Now I just got to grind and beat the optional boss and then the bosses at the
This
end.
is exciting. This is
Yes.
development.
Yes. I
I'm
am at
eagerly
the end.
awaiting next week
Yeah.
for you to
It's been
say, I can't beat it.
Yeah, pretty much. I actually attempted to beat this boss right before we started it, and I was getting my butt handed to me. I'm like, no, I got to still grind this game a little bit more. It's this ending. Oh my gosh. I mean, like, I could beat the game, but like I would feel so much like I would feel so unsatisfied with it, you know?
For coming this long, you might as well do it the way that you really want to do it.
Yeah, and I wanted to do it this way. I want because I beat every single side quest. I've gotten every like monster I could find. I'm at like 70 or 80% of like the monsters, which is like a crazy amount. Yeah. Now I'm just grinding the end levels, the end monsters. I have an ability where it greatly increases experience too in battles. And so that helps me grind a little bit better, but I am beating monsters that are like now at my level, and it takes a while to like get through it. So, anyways, I'm 3 bosses left at the end.
Wait,
3 more
3 bosses left? I thought you said like 1 optional boss.
Well, okay. So, okay, if you go to the ending, there's 2 bosses, right? And it
Okay,
depends
and
on the
then the optional
choice.
boss. Okay.
And then I want to do the optional boss. It's like
Yeah,
obscenely
okay.
difficult too. It's like
What
insanely
happens
difficult.
if you can't
Anyways.
beat it? What if it's too hard and you have to
What, the
level some
optional boss?
and you have to level some more and then you don't beat it next week?
No, I'm gonna beat it next week. It's gonna happen. I will beat it next week. I
You
went
are
from level
not
70
allowed
to
back on the show until that game
yes.
is beat. Elaine and I will hold the show without you if you don't have
Okay.
it beat.
Okay. I will agree to that
Guys, we're
challenge.
doing the show without Garret next week.
No. We're gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna beat
Okay.
this
Holding you
darn
to that.
game. I'm ready to be done with it. Okay. Ready to be done with it. I mean, like, I haven't given up yet, so obviously I'm having a really good time with it. It's just so much game to it. I also wanted to mention on top of this, if any fans out there want to look into a video that I watched today. It's a smaller video. It's from a very small YouTuber. It's called Shin Megami Tensei A Lost Identity. And so it's a video essay of this guy just talking about how Shin Megami Tensei, the series, is kind of just losing its character, losing its story. Like, the story doesn't really play much of anything. Like, it's just trying to build off of what it had previously, and there's really not much to it. And I kind of agree with this guy. More or less, the story is not like moving at all. The characters are bland and meaningless. Like, it's a very mediocre story. And he really touches upon it. It's like, hey, it's like this has been going on for a while. Like with 4 and 5, it's not as good as it was beforehand. So any like big Shin Megami Tensei fans out there want to check this one out? It's again, Shin Megami Tensei: A Lost Identity by Plasmite on YouTube. Check it out. He says some very subjective, and of course, it's opinionated things. He feels strongly about it. He feels like he knows more, but he articulates his argument a little bit in that video. So go check it out. Also, the next game I've been playing, not on Switch but on PC, it's a series of games. It's called We Were Here. I actually was playing this with a friend of mine. He was actually an old college roommate of mine, and now we play games every now and then, just co-op. And if I want a co-op partner, that's the guy I go to online. It's like, okay,
That's good.
Yeah, let's take a break from all this like monotonous single player RPGs and just have a good time with a friend and just go through a game. And so this game on Steam is for free. At least the first part is. And it's just a neat little puzzle game. It's like one's takes the role of the explorer, one takes the role of the librarian, and basically you go through a series of puzzles where you have to communicate with each other to figure out to go to the next obstacle or beat the puzzle or something. An example is like, the explorer has like these different eye colors or different combination of eye colors, and you have to pick symbols that represent these eye colors. And then the librarian has the legend basically in front of them. It's like, okay, let's try to figure out what's the right combination of symbols. Something like
I've
that.
heard of similar games like that, and you
Yeah.
have like different things that you have to work together. And like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and it's super cool. The first part's free, so just like check it out. It was like an hour and a half long, and it was just fun to like, you know, do something that's like communication with another person, another human being other than just the computer on a video game. So it was actually super fun. And I am listening through actually Reggie's book, Disrupting the Game. It
How
is
you liking it?
it's very cool. And so I'm actually listening to it on Audible. He goes through, he touches a little bit about Nintendo in the beginning, but he really gets into detail of like his career, from the beginning, like before Nintendo, his like life as a child, all the way to being at Cornell, and then his various careers up until Nintendo. Super cool to hear his life and his career path. He's a super smart dude. He's very determined from the get-go. Like since he was a kid, he was strategizing where to go, how to get there. He did not, live in a very rich life or anything. He had to work very hard to get where he was, and so it was. And he gives out very concise, very like pinpoint like lessons in business and just careers in general. Is like learn how to communicate with others, or I think it applies to not just business and marketing, but like any kind of job you're getting into. I think it's a very
It really
good,
does. Yeah.
very instructive book. I'm about halfway done.
It's very universal, like his lessons that he's
Yeah.
sharing and things like that. Like it can be applied to really anything. How is it listening to the audiobook with his voice? Because I normally don't listen to audiobooks, and I bought the book, but I didn't buy the audiobook. And I'm wondering, like, with him narrating it, like how is that?
I think it's kind of cool. It's Reggie talking to me.
Because
Like,
we're familiar with his voice and his,
yeah.
mannerisms and how he sounds, and I can
And he has
imagine that
weight
comes
to
through.
his words, like, because it's his writing. So every time he goes into his lesson, he always begins with "so what," and I'm sure it's like written in the books too. That's his signature, is "so what," and then
Mhm.
after that, he goes through his lesson, what he learned from his whatever the project he was on, or whatever. It's super cool to hear his voice, and again, it's his writing, so he really believes in what he was talking. So it feels like Reggie's like teaching me and like instruct and just like giving me his like kind of his history, his life lessons. So it's so cool to hear him. And his relationship with all the Nintendo folks, and kind of the characters that he'd been talking, like other coworkers and colleagues he's
Mhm.
been communicating throughout his life. Very interesting dude. Yeah.
I'm glad that he wrote this and he put that out there, because I feel like he does have a lot of experience and wisdom, and he's kind of passing it on and gives us a little bit of an insider view of kind of what it was like for him.
Yeah. And also, I did get this for free because I just did an Audible trial on Amazon, 1 month free. It gives you 1 credit book. And so you just use that credit and you can immediately cancel the membership, and it's just 1 month.
I wonder if I've
And there.
used mine. If I haven't used it, I should look into that.
So when I tried it on my phone, it said I used it, but I just went
Uh-huh.
online, like
Oh,
on
yeah, yeah, yeah.
browser, and they were like, "Hey, continue your Audible free trial for 1 month." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. I will do that. I will immediately get Reggie's book and cancel that membership and be good." And that's what I did.
Don't forget to cancel it, because they will charge you.
They'll definitely charge you.
Yeah.
Or unless you want to read audiobooks, that's a great way to
That's
get
true.
into it. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've. Oh, last thing before we get into the news,
Mhm.
I got a new controller. I got a
I
new
saw that
custom
on Twitter.
Xbox
Ooh,
controller.
show it off.
There we go.
That's like a navy color. So it's navy and it has like the orange
Yeah.
little, not, I don't, accessories. Like
Yeah,
little
D-pad. This is the
flourishes to it.
D-pad.
Yeah, the D-pad and then the
Yeah,
triggers.
yeah, the orange accents, the triggers too. Yeah,
Accents. Yeah.
There you go.
Couldn't think of the word.
Yeah, I wanted a custom Xbox controller for the longest time, so I asked it as a gift. And so I got it, and it's very, very nice. I got engraving here as well. I don't know if you can see on camera. It's called Jeep Land exclusive.
Love it.
It's very, very nice. I really enjoy this controller a lot. Well worth it. Like, if you guys want to get one of a kind design controllers, Xbox does it great, man. It has all different sorts of colors and stuff you can do. Rubberized grips as well, and back there.
I've always been very jealous that Xbox really leans into that customization. You know, I've always thought, how great would it be if Nintendo did that with Joy-Con, where you could just mix and match all different Joy-Con color and stuff. I will say, if you want something like that for Switch controllers, the company Colorware does an amazing job. I've been so tempted to order from them because they do essentially what I just described, where you can either do it with Joy-Con or you can do it with a Pro controller, and you can customize pretty much any, facet of it. For a Pro controller, like, you can do the front plate, the back plate. I think you can do the triggers and the buttons too, and they have a whole host of colors, like matte colors, glossy colors, so on and so forth. So I always was a little bit jealous of Microsoft doing that with Xbox. It would be cool if Nintendo had an official way, but it's I like the personalized things. I know some people don't like, the custom colors and the personalization. They like just, standard whatever, but I've always liked it. And that's a really, really nice one.
Yes. And they come, like, Xbox really expanded it this past year with the new Xbox controller, more colors, more customization. I think they don't, I'm sure they don't make too much money off of this because it's a completely separate process. It's a custom process, and I'm sure it takes a lot more expense than what they're offering. But I think this is just for the gamers that really want to get something personal, something I think it's a very cool thing to do,
especially because of the engraving. I'm sure that's like,
it's
a lot for them
super
to do.
cool. Yeah, it is a little bit extra for the engraving, but it's not like obscenely more than what they're asking for. So I understand Nintendo and PlayStation not getting into that mess because it's gonna be a whole separate business and a whole separate process to do. But Xbox went out of their way, went in the extra mile to get that custom Xbox design lab. So it was super. I had to take advantage of it. It's super nice.
It looks really good, and I will say I really love it because that also has my college's colors. So
really? It's my high school colors.
Oh, okay. Is that why you picked it?
I mean, it looks cool.
It does. Those colors go really well.
Coincidentally, but yeah, the navy blue and that bright orange was my high school colors, and but super cool.
Oh, cool. Cool.
Anyways,
very jealous of that. I love those cool controllers.
I'm gonna keep this controller for a very long time too. I'm playing on PC.
Very gentle with it.
Very gentle with it. Yes.
Shall I get into this week's news?
Yeah.
So, starting off, Skyrim Anniversary Edition. The rating has been leaked for the Switch. So this comes from the Digital Game Rating Committee in Taiwan. They listed the game in their rating database for the Switch. The Anniversary Edition contains all of the game's DLC, mod content, and a new fishing system. So this release, the Anniversary Edition, released last year in November for other platforms.
Yes.
When they released it, I even remember them saying it's coming to all platforms, but then they just never said anything about the Switch. And so Skyrim already exists on the Switch anyway, but the Anniversary Edition has, all these bells and whistles to it. So I'm not like super surprised that this was eventually going to make its way to the Switch, because I think, it runs well enough on the Switch. It doesn't really add anything. It's not like it's a remake or a remaster really or anything. It just has all the extra content that you could get along the way, I guess. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's they did a little bit more mod content, a little bit more. It's just another way to sell this stupid thing. It really
is. Like, is this a full price deal? Like, are they charging $60 for this?
I hope not.
Is that how much it costs on other platforms?
I think if it's a separate SKU, like if you're buying the game, then yes, this is going to be $60 on Switch. I can't recall how much it is on other platforms. It's either 40 or 60. But I forget. I know it's an upgrade. Yeah, there's an upgrade like price for it. Like if you have the special edition Skyrim, you can get this one for like $20 or something like that.
It looks like it's $20 on Steam at least.
Okay,
maybe it's on
it
sale.
on sale?
Let me see. Hold on.
All right.
My birthday. Oh wait, on Xbox it looks like it's 50.
It's $50. Yes, I remember it being an odd price. But Skyrim Anniversary Edition, yeah.
Oh, the upgrade is 20 on Steam.
The upgrade is 20 on every like if you have it on PlayStation and Xbox, you can get the upgrade for $20. I think it's a great thing to have it on Switch because you're not going to do much modding. If on Steam you're doing a lot of mods, and what this upgrade patch did essentially was all the plugins for the mods were not compatible for the updated Anniversary Edition, so all the mods just didn't work. So no one's really buying it on Steam. Xbox and PlayStation's the same thing, but you don't really play too much. There's not really much to offer on mods compared to the Steam library. So, but yeah, okay, good for them to have at it for another Skyrim. And you know what Todd Howard says, like, we keep selling it because you keep buying them.
Buying it. Yeah. I think this won't stop until Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, which is, I would imagine, still many years away. So they will keep doing this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Anniversary. When they announced that last year, I was like, what? Has it really been 10 years since Skyrim came out? Like, that was insane. Like, they released it on the exact 10-year anniversary. It was November 11th, 2021.
Yep. 10 years.
Crazy.
And
I don't know, Garrett. I, for one, can't wait to play Skyrim on my microwave next year because it's coming to all platforms.
You can play on your Alexa and then your fridge and then your microwave.
It's gonna come to calculators. It'll come to everything by the time 6.
I'm sure someone has put Skyrim into a calculator. I'm sure there's a YouTube video on that. Yeah,
they have Doom.
Skyrim is ubiquitous now. Right.
Yeah, this is everywhere.
And it's a cool addition. Like, if you're a Skyrim fan and you just want like the extra stuff in the end there, like the mod content's like I think there's like a couple of extra dungeons and areas, and then there's also more weapons, more custom weapons and armor, and then the fishing system's kind of just meh. It's just like, okay, you can fish now, cool. But anyways. Cool.
I have Skyrim on the Switch. I played a little bit of it. Didn't really do much with the story. Just kind of did stuff around the world. And then my mistake was playing that for the first time after I had already played Breath of the Wild. And I feel like I would have enjoyed my experience a lot more if I played it pre-Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I would say, like, I would not do another big open world RPG in junction with another very big open world RPG, because they both have the same mindset of like going off and doing whatever you want, and of course you're gonna do the same thing again, but for a older video game in general, it's gonna feel a little dated. It's not gonna feel as special because it's not Zelda.
What ruined it for me was not being able to climb everything I could see. That ruined a lot of video games for me. It really did.
You can't do that with Skyrim. No, you gotta be like way over level. I had a hard time going
into Assassin's Creed, whatever, when I played the pirate one. I had a hard time doing that because I couldn't climb anything I wanted. I had a hard time with Skyrim. Like, Breath of the Wild ruined a lot of games for me.
Yeah, because you can just go straight to a mountain and just climb things if you want to. Assassin's Creed, 4, I remember being it's a little harder back then, because the character registered every single little ledge in cliff and whatever, and sometimes it just doesn't go where you want it to go. And yeah, I'm sure it can get frustrating. But anyways, Skyrim Anniversary Edition. If they have the upgrade price, I might just get the upgrade price and get this Anniversary Edition.
I feel like it's more worth it. Yeah.
I hope that's the case, but if not, then I'm definitely not gonna get it and just keep,
And if you
playing
somehow
Skyrim.
have interest in Skyrim but have like somehow not bought it by this point, you're in
For
luck. For
10 and a
Switch,
half years.
I don't know that I would recommend it on Switch, but go for it.
If you want to play handheld and you don't have a Steam Deck, there you go. It's a great port.
True. You want to take this next story?
Yeah, sure. I think this is promising for all those RPG nerds out there on Switch. Nihon Falcom wants to put Trails in the Sky, Kuro no Kiseki, and other titles on the Switch. And so RPG site has a full article about this and translated some interviews in this week's issue of Weekly Famitsu magazine. Nihon Falcom president Toshihiro Kondo was interviewed regarding the upcoming release of The Legend of Natuya in Japan. And then there's also another Trails from Zero series coming into the US as well this year. So there's a lot of these trail games coming from this developer that's just now coming into like Western platforms, which they've never gone to the platform before. Like they're older games from like 2006 and 7, and they're just now porting it over. These are great RPG games. The Trails from Cold Steel series, that's where I recognize like most of these games, and then they have like trilogies of RPGs surrounding the Trails like franchise or whatever. And so during the interview, Kondo was asked about the Nintendo Switch and about potentially other Falcom titles that could come to the platform, especially when it comes to the Trails series. So expect more Trails games, expect more ports, and that's pretty much it. I just wanted to mention there was someone in Twitter that actually tweeted tweeted at me about Trails of Cold Steel. Yeah, basically it's like, hey, if you want to try out a game that could contest with Shin Megami Tensei combat and gameplay, here's a game for you. And I'm like, all right, sounds good. I have it on PC. I'm ready to go.
I don't know much about these games.
Yeah, they're very hardcore RPG games. The Trails in the Sky, man, I have to go through like all of these. There's so many like sets of trilogies. I think there's like 4 or 5 of these in conjunction. I am really most familiar with Trails of Cold Steel.
Okay.
That's the one that started.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah, and only 3 and 4 3 and 4 are on the Switch. 1, 2, 3, and 4 on like other platforms like PC, PlayStation. Yeah, and they're very long RPGs. They're kind of Persona-ish, where you like have students together and characters together, and they fight like bad guys and go throughout a story. They're long RPGs, but I heard they're very, very good. And then there's like so many other Trails games as well surrounding it, and it's just this big universe. So I think a lot of people are really into these games, and so I'm sure they're excited to see that, a lot of positivity and seeing a lot more ports coming to the Switch itself.
Excellent.
So, anyways,
cool.
There you go.
That's some good news. You love seeing titles come to Switch.
Yeah.
As we had predicted last week, Fall Guys is in fact confirmed to come to Switch on June 21st next month. It will be free to play, as we had guessed based on the leak. It will be cross-platform. It will be cross-progression. So if you have been playing on PS4 or on PC and you've linked your Epic account, you will be able to bring everything over. I think if you already have been playing, you get some legacy content. So if you haven't played in a long time, go and hook it up to Epic and you will get your legacy content. They released some stats of how it will run on the Switch. On handheld, it will run at 30 frames per second at 720p. Docked, it will run at 30 frames per second at 1080p. and they reminded us that future updates are planned, such as a level creator mode. They said that's going to be in the far future, but it's being worked on.
Cool.
What do you think, Garret? Will you download Fall Guys free to play and jump into some matches?
Not on Switch, I don't think. It's just, they've been talking. Well, have they been talking about putting it on Switch for a while now? Yeah.
A long time. Yeah.
I think that kind of just killed it for me. It's like Fall Guys, there was a craze about it, like for 1 month, I would say. And then afterwards, it kind of just fell down to the wayside and we were just interested in other games. And now they're like, hey, here's this big push again. It's like, we're kind of done.
I do think they missed the boat. I really do think they missed the boat with this. And I think the only redeeming thing that they have here is that it is free to play and it is cross-platform. Because I think nobody's going to be paying $20 for this on Switch. Nobody's going to be playing this if it's just limited to only Switch players. So I think that's really what it has going for it. And I'll download it because it's free to play. Like, I don't have anything to lose. And I could see myself either picking this up and like doing a couple matches before bed, or like having maybe community streams, where people can, if we can all be in the same party type of thing. So this is something that I hope to get some enjoyment out of, because I did pay for it on PC.
Me too.
So I was very glad to not. I don't think I would have paid for it again, honestly. So I'm willing to give it a shot and see how much I play of it on Switch, because I think it's a good pick up and play, a couple of rounds of it type of game.
I think it's you're totally right that putting it to free to play is the best decision for Fall Guys, especially you just think of like all the kids that have Switch and they just play Fortnite. My little brother does that. He's like, hey, I'm gonna play my Fortnite machine, and it's like, okay, now it could be a Fall Guys machine, and it's like, hey, here's another free to play game that's actually fun, and it would be cool to just play a game or two, as you said. It doesn't take long to go through a Fall Guys round, and it is fun initially. Like, it's not a bad game. They kind of just missed the mark on this. I wish Donnie mentioned this as well. I wish they would just say, hey, it's out right now, go get it, go download it.
I do wish that too. I wish they had maybe saved the announcement for like June 20th, June 21st, and just said, okay, it's out today, it's out tomorrow, because I'm not, this isn't like a new, like, I'm not excited to, I've played this game. It's not like I needed this countdown, this wait, this anticipation. Like, I know what it is. I know what to expect. You're not doing anything by teasing it for a month and marketing it for a month. Like, you're right. This could have been, a shadow drop at the Indie Direct or whatever.
I'm sure it doesn't matter for them, because I think they're owned by Epic now, right? So they're totally secure. It's like, all right, let's get our just free to play model. Here's our Fall Guys game. I'm sure they'll have like maybe a Fall Guys 2 or whatever. I don't know.
You know what I'm really disappointed about? That I was hoping that they would have during this presentation? Some kind of exclusive Nintendo skins or some kind of content. Like, how when they brought Rocket League to the Switch, they brought the Mario and Luigi car and Samus's gunship that you could use as the cars when you were playing. And I thought that was really cool. And I don't know how hard would it be for Nintendo to be like, here, you can have, blue overalls for your red Fall Guy bean, and it could be a Mario bean. Like, think of how cool that would have been. Like, just, a couple exclusive Nintendo skins that you can only get if you're playing on the Switch that you can redeem. I don't know. I just think that's a missed opportunity. I feel like that would have been something very cool.
So I agree with you with the exclusive items. I'm sure they'll make more later, possibly. Maybe just
like, I want them to be Nintendo themed, like just Nintendo themed, like Switch things. I don't know.
So Super Zambezi in the chat that said, "Did you all see the level editor for Fall Guys that they previewed?" I did not.
I didn't watch the presentation. I knew that they had talked about the level creator mode that they're going to have. They said it won't be like soon, but it will be sometime in the future. If You'd say that's interesting. I don't know. I would
I
have
don't
to
know.
see it really to know, like, if it's gonna be that good. Like, I don't know. It also depends, like, how many people are gonna be playing your, like, will you be able to team up with 99 other people to play your level? Like, I don't
Yeah,
really know how
like
that's gonna work.
what's the restrictions on that? Like, are people gonna go to a specific map? Is it gonna be randomly generated? I'm not sure how that's gonna work. Man, these level editors, they could be a hit or miss. Like, seriously, it could be a huge miss. I've seen some games that really try to push for that level editor platform, and they just nothing jumped off.
Like, will it
So
be
I
a
don't know.
mode where you can either play on the official levels or, like, you can play into random user-created levels, and then it's just like, okay, you get what you get. Like, turns out when it's the final 5, you're stuck in this really horrible level that I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
I would have
know.
to watch the presentation because I'm wondering if
Same.
they had some cap of like the number of participants in a level
Yeah.
or something like that. Or I don't know how it's gonna work. Is it just one level or are they doing multiple? Like maybe you make a level and then they mix around these levels into their rotation
Yeah.
of maps or
Yeah,
whatever.
it'll be
I don't know.
interesting to see. I don't know if it's good. Like I said, it could get me to jump back into it every now and then.
Hmm.
So yes, June
Cool.
21st.
Be
Out
excited.
now. Yeah, be excited. Out now, Kirby and the Crystal Shards for the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack. We had mentioned that this was announced as the second to last Nintendo 64 game that
Yeah.
we know of that's coming to the system. It's out now. You can play it. Originally on the N64, came out in 2000. I have not played this game. I don't know if it's good. I may try it out. I don't know. I feel like I haven't really been excited to jump into any of the N64 games that have been added.
Not in 64 compared to like the other titles that like Genesis I'm more interested in just because there's
Oh, are
some
you?
specific games in there that I wanted to try out like Shining Force.
Okay.
It's cool to see. SNES and NES were pretty cool to see. I don't know the N64. Like the thing is, I've been playing like I played Ocarina of Time. I played Majora's Mask a little bit on 3DS, and that kind of spoiled me. I was like, I don't want to go back to an N64 emulator
Yeah.
just yet. Maybe
I
later when
just
I'm in the mood.
don't I don't know. I feel like I don't get very excited about N64 games the way that other people do. They haven't all aged fantastically.
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like the ones that I really love, I probably only love because of the nostalgia, and I'm not too keen to like try a new one. Like, I don't get me wrong, like I tried Banjo Kazooie. I have fun
Hmm.
with what I played of that. I think because I am not already a Kirby fan, I don't feel the need to try this game. I feel because I'm not already an F-Zero fan, I don't feel the need to jump into
Yeah.
F-Zero. What is the one? F-Zero X, is that the one
F-Zero
that came out?
X. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, because
I
I'm
think it's
not,
also
whatever their game came out. The Paper Mario. I didn't try Paper Mario. I don't know.
Paper Mario. Actually, I'm interested in. I'll probably play that. That's the one in 64 game. Like, oh, I'm interested in that one. I just think like it's the 3D aging, right? It's the
Mhm.
first 3D like Nintendo games. Of course, the Tadpole, Zelda, and Mario is great and everything, but um, the others, I'm just like, it doesn't look that
Yeah.
great to me.
And I think, like,
Anyways,
the next time that I get an itch to play Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Am I gonna pick it up on the Switch, or am I gonna pick up the 3D versions on the 3DS? I don't know. What am I gonna do?
yeah, I don't know.
But I guess it will depend, like, if I wanna stream it or whatnot, but the last game that we know of that's to come out is going to be Pokemon Snap, if everything goes according to the pattern that has been happening over the past 7 months or so. They will
Hmm.
release Pokemon Snap in June, and that will be the last game that we know about. I love Pokemon Snap, and I will probably play through that again on the Switch just because I love that game. But
Hmm.
then I don't know. We talked about what are they going to do next? What's next for Switch Online?
I don't know. XPS said in the chat, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox 64, both of those are pretty good. I agree. I think
Is
it's
Star Fox
like
64 on it already? Yeah, it is.
it
It
is.
is.
Yeah, and it's very well emulated apparently.
Yeah.
But that is a 30-minute game. It
Yeah.
really is. You just go there, you go through the levels, and you can do it multiple times too. So maybe 4 or 5 hours, you've literally had your fill with Star Fox 64, and you're good.
I played
And
that on the Wii U Virtual Console like a year or two ago.
okay, so you get it. Like
Yeah.
you understand what that game is. I think a lot of these games, it's either I'm not familiar with them and they haven't aged well, and I'm like, ugh, I don't want to play that, or hey, I've played that way back in the day. I remember it. Maybe I'll just play for like 30 minutes and like, okay, I'm gonna stop now because I understand it now.
Mm-hmm.
Time to go back to my other game.
Yep.
Yeah, I just feel like Nintendo Switch Online games. I don't have a oh, I'm gonna go through this beginning to end per se. I don't feel the need to do that.
I agree. Yeah, that's how I feel. And I like what it is and what it all stands for. I just can't help but wish that they just really put their whole back catalog into these libraries and just have it kind of as legacy content. Like, okay, I'm not, waiting for this drip feed to maybe play some of these games, but having it more as I have this huge library of legacy content that anytime I want to play something, here it is in one place for me to play it.
Yeah, me too. I've been looking into more videos of emulation machines. I'm not gonna get every emulation machine, but like some of them are enticing. Like,
Yeah.
there's this guy that posted on Discord. He got the Ein Odin, AYN. That's the company, Odin. And I've been looking up reviews on YouTube. Basically, it looks like a Switch Lite.
Okay.
But it's all Android operated, and it can play emulation up to PS2 emulation pretty well, and Dreamcast. And everyone that's been mentioning about this or talking about this, like, hey, this is the emulation machine that you always wanted. And I'm like, that looks good.
Gotta
Like,
get
and
it.
it's like it's on the go. Like you take it with you, you can put it in your pocket or
I'll
whatever
grab
and
a
take it out.
picture.
Yeah. It's I mean, it is a price tag. It's like it's about as much as a Switch. But like you get what you get. You get this, like the form factor, the button layout looks exactly the same as the Switch, and you can run pretty much everything up
It does
to
look like a Switch Lite.
no joke, it looks like a Switch Lite. And if you get the dock is amazing because you put it in, it's just like the Switch where it's USB-C, HDMI out, but it also has N64 controller ports, GameCube controller ports, like and
That's awesome.
USB-A ports. Like they thought of everything
Garrett,
with
stop
this
trying to
one.
sell me another device I don't need.
And it's a big market now. Is like trying to get back into this retro game emulation. There's a lot of different companies making these small projects that are doing it so much better than Switch, Nintendo, just because of the games
I just
that you
love
can
the
get out of
colors.
it.
There's atomic purple, Garrett.
There's an
Please.
atomic purple one, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then the dock is like 60. So the dock is like $60. The Pro, you could get the Pro or normal version. I heard both are pretty good.
I'm not seeing prices for these. How much does this thing cost?
The Pro version's $290, and then the regular version I think is $230 or $240 or something like that. I think you have to like literally go to shop or like buy or button or whatever, and then you see
I
the
keep getting
price.
redirected to Indiegogo. They're like
Oh,
Kickstarter
really?
site store.
All right. Looking
Oh, I
up
see it.
Odin.
I
Yeah.
see it. Shop.
It's .hk
Oh, I
actually.
see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, they got atomic purple in there. And it's funny because their
Wait, is there a
colors.
difference between the Lite and the Base Pro?
Yeah, the Lite is not as powerful. I wouldn't go for it. Like it's
You
just,
wouldn't.
yeah, it's just it will only handle literally what the Retro Pocket handles. So
Yeah, what
I
good is
just
that?
wouldn't go for that.
So it's like, okay,
Um,
so Base and Pro are also different. And then you can get Pro. Does it take micro SD? I shouldn't be going
yes,
into this on the show.
micro SD, like, but the crazy part is the dock itself has a SATA port, which means you can put in your own hard drive or
Oh,
SSD in the dock as well. So you can like take the console on the go for your smaller games. And I think it has enough internal memory where you don't need a micro SD card. Like you just put everything internal memory. It's just
I
fine.
see.
Yeah, you play like you can plug it into a PC or like a computer, and it's an immediate file transfer, and you can do whatever you want.
They
So
have the
anyways,
atomic purple in Pro.
yeah, and they have the LED lights, the side and the top as well.
I don't
Anyways, not
need
to
this.
entice
I
you or
don't need
anything, but
this. I'm getting a Pocket. I ordered that stupid analog
the
Pocket
second
that
one,
I don't
oh,
need.
the I
Not
know
the
which one you're
Retroid
talking about.
Pocket, the
The
one
Game
that
Boy.
actually runs hardware, yeah.
Yeah,
And it's coming later this year, and I don't need it, but I really wanted it, and it was very expensive.
it was. The
Uh,
That one's good if you have a lot of original games.
I don't. I have some.
That's the thing with the Pocket. It's like there's so many like games I don't have for that. It's like why would I get this then? It's like
I know.
it looks good though. I gotta hand it
It's
to
gonna
you
be
because
really pretty, and I'm gonna play a couple games on it.
and then you're just gonna put it to the side and you're just like
When I was at PAX, I was trying to get a bunch of cheap Game Boy games that I could find for dollars. I got Earthworm Jim, and I got Battle Tanks, and I got Brother Bear licensed games and stuff.
wow.
I got Mario Kart Super Circuit for a couple bucks. There's a
Right.
bunch of stuff that anytime I go to a retro store or anything, I just want to see what Game Boy games I can get for a couple bucks just to have something, little things
Right.
just to play on it.
Right.
But yeah. It's very
I
unnecessary.
wasn't trying to convince you. My message was a lot of people are doing it better than Nintendo Switch Online.
I was
Like,
also thinking about doing what Elaine did and getting a Game Boy, a backlit Game Boy Advance with a custom shell and everything. But I literally
yeah,
don't need that if I'm getting a Pocket.
that's true. Like the Pocket will do pretty much a lot. Game Gear, Game Boy, Game Boy Advance, right? Like
Yes. Yeah.
those three.
And I
Yeah.
really
Okay.
don't need this Odin because let's be real. Am I going to play PS2 or GameCube games on this? Probably not. So
Look at a video. Look at a video. It looks good. Okay. Anyways, I'm not here to convince you to get this thing. Okay. We are
I'm
moving
sure it
along.
looks great. I also have a hacked Switch.
That's true. Like you don't really need. Okay, if you have a hack Switch, put PS2 emulation. I'm wondering if PS2 emulation is good on there. But
On
anyways,
the Switch? Or on the Odin?
yeah, on the Switch. I'm
I don't
wondering
know.
if it's good.
I don't know. I haven't done any emulated games on Switch.
I would be
I don't know.
interested to hear.
Maybe I will. We'll see. We'll
That
see. We'll see. I'm not
aside
doing
point.
anything illegal. You didn't hear anything.
No one's doing crimes. No one's doing crimes.
This is all hypothetical. If we were to do that, that's what would have happened.
Exactly.
Anyway, I like how we went from Kirby and the Crystal Shards to that.
To emulation.
Yeah.
Gosh, I want an Odin Pro though.
Nintendo makes us do crimes. It's not our fault. We're the victims here. Nintendo made us do it.
Exactly.
Just because
Limiting
Nintendo
us
won't put Beetle Adventure Racing on the Nintendo Switch.
are literally GBA and GB games on the Switch. Like, no joke. It's just like, well, you're
How are we
closing the
gonna play
stores here.
Golden Sun? Yeah, they're closing
Exactly.
the eShop in a little bit. They're not offering it on modern console. Like, it's not our fault that we have to pirate Golden Sun when we want to play it this summer.
Yeah. Anyways,
we're playing it this summer, right?
That was the plan. It's summer. It's like next month.
No, it's
is summer.
not. It's not summer yet. We have exactly 1 month before it's summer.
Okay. And then we'll play Golden Sun during the summer.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
yeah. We have to let Elaine know because she's playing.
Okay, next week we'll let her know.
And then it's gonna be Shack Game Club. Golden Sun
the Shack
Edition.
Game Club. Yeah, Golden. There we go. I like this name. I like this improv. Yeah, good stuff.
We thought we'd do a little bit of E3 speculation to close out the news segment here, and we know E3 is dead, but come on, we're all still gonna call it E3 this time of year. I don't see how it can be anything but E3 this time of year because we probably know that there's going to be stuff happening. And G-Man wrote in and he said, this might be a simple question. That is, when's Nintendo's digital event occurring? He says, why will it be a Tuesday in June? It's a really good guess, G-Man. I think you're onto something there.
Yeah.
Typically, there is a Nintendo Direct in late May, early June, right before E3 time. I think that will happen. I think that's about when we'll see Scarlet and Violet versions. They typically do this. They put out, a whole big trailer around that time, and then they start marketing it way too much up until the release in June. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see that in the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
When will they announce their digital event? So yeah, it could be in a couple weeks. Do you think they'll give us 1 week in advance for this digital event? Is that what normally happens with Nintendo?
For Pokemon, or just like a Nintendo Direct in general?
Just Nintendo Direct in general.
I think normally when they do it with E3, I think it's normally like a couple weeks. We know the date like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time, I think.
Yeah. Like 2 or 3 weeks ahead. So make sure
it might not even be that long. It might be like a week or two ahead of time.
Yeah. I remember waiting until the very end. It's like, all right, how are we going to schedule this? But we kind of can guess when Nintendo does announce or present their Direct. It's normally a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
as
at noon said. Usually it is, because I remember last year at the half day at work and I had to rush home, just barely make it. Yeah, I think probably maybe around like the 14th, 15th or so, that second week of June. I could see that. I think there will be a Pokemon one the week before that. I think the first week of June. So like in 3 weeks from now, there will be a Pokemon Direct.
Okay, so you think there's a Pokemon Direct before the actual Nintendo Digital Summer event or whatever they call it?
I think so.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be just all... Well, it's going to be DLC of probably Arceus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I would imagine it won't be too much. I would think it would be like an update 1 point whatever or 2.0 or something, like a big update. And it's like, hey, here are more missions to do. Here are more side quests. Here's a little bit more Pokemon. Maybe another
kind of like what they did before, right? I think they did like a small DLC, or like it was like an update to the game. Yeah, they could have something like that.
And I think they're learning from Monster Hunter how to handle updates, because Monster Hunter does it perfectly. Not the expansion, but their updates. Their updates are consistent. They're free. They're collaborative. I think Pokemon is now learning. It's like, hey, yeah, maybe we should add some few things here and there. Just keep this game like in the conversation or a little bit more alive. So I can imagine DLC for Legends Arceus, not paid, but just like an updated free thing. Maybe some Pokemon in Shining. Oh my gosh, Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. That's a game I totally just flew off my radar oh my goodness. I played it for a hot minute and they're just, whew, just done.
Something that I didn't stick in the news here, they came out with the update for Pokemon Home that you can connect Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, and Arceus to Pokemon Home now if you're trying to get your Pokemon to go back and forth.
So you got that. Maybe they'll explain a little bit of that because that is a cobweb of Pokemon transfers to do with so many different apps and games. My dream is still this Pokemon game service thing on Switch. And I'll keep saying it. I want it, Nintendo. I will. I'm not Nintendo, Game Freak. I bet it's, I guess it's both, but yeah.
Right.
I would love to see all games on Switch.
I don't know if it'll happen this year. I think there's too much going on this year between Arceus and Scarlet Violet.
Yeah, and then also they haven't, I mean, I would think Nintendo would release some Game Boy Advance like package or emulation first before this Pokemon game service ever got released.
I think so too.
But yeah, all about Scarlet and what was it, Violet, right? Yeah, all about those two games. We'll see how that shows up.
I think that's pretty safe that we'll see that sometime in June, and then they'll market that till November. If they do have a Nintendo Direct in June, what do you think we could see at this point in the game?
Yeah. I'm hoping like immediate upcoming games, more information. I'm sure Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will have a final trailer. Splatoon 3 will have a huge trailer and information. I'm wondering if they'll do some sort of side direct along with it, or a playtest announcement.
Yeah, they normally have the test fire, they call it.
Yeah, the test fire. Yeah,
that would be
sure. Yeah, Bayonetta 3. We've been waiting for that. I don't know. Platinum Games has been really missing. So like for the past
I think if we
don't
see anything Bayo in June, I question if it's still supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, I don't know. They said
it's getting kind of late for them to start talking about it, right?
Yeah, I wonder if they'll just do a major push here at this direct. It has to be this direct, or that game is gonna be like, it's not. I don't know. It's coming when they say it's coming. Was it like September or August when they said it's about to be released? I forgot.
I don't even think they said that much, did they?
Oh, okay. I guess we're just guessing.
I think they just said 22.
Oh, they just said 2022.
I think so. Yeah, I believe so. They announced it in September of last year.
Oh, okay.
I don't
think they just said 2022.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll find some more information about Bayonetta 3. If not, we will have the typical long paragraph on Twitter from Platinum Games. We've been working really hard on the latest franchise hit of the Bayonetta series. Yeah.
Is it too early for us to get a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer since it's releasing in 2023 now?
No, I think Breath of the Wild 2 trailer is totally feasible to have. Not like, getting into gameplay or whatever, but another teaser. I could totally see another cryptic teaser, a little bit more information so people will talk about it.
Yeah.
I could totally see that. What do you think about
I kind of want them to do that. I kind of want them to not say a name. I kind of want them to you're right. No, not like any actual gameplay, like just another kind of weird trailer with because the first one, we could not have imagined that it was going to be so sky based, that the second trailer was just such as mind blowing as the first one to us. I want them to show us something else that we just can't imagine that is going to make us connect all of the puzzle pieces. That would be cool.
That would be really cool. I want a trailer that's more questions again. I want them to tease a little bit. Maybe, it would be crazy if they would do something with time or like a time loop type of thing and try to like now let's blend in some things together.
I have a lot of theories based on what we saw, and I do think there's going to be some kind of time element involved with this
Yeah.
one, with like slowing time or reversing time or something, just
Yeah.
based off of that second trailer and what we've seen.
Whew, I'm kind of excited to see.
Me too.
You know what? And again, all speculation. I could totally see them not doing anything and
Not
be like,
having anything at
we're
all. Yeah.
excited to show you Breath of the Wild, the sequel to the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild at another time. Uh,
And in the
but
meantime, here's Wind Waker and Twilight Princess.
I don't know if so. Yeah, I've been debating a lot of people have been thinking, what are they going to release this year? Zelda related, are they? And what is it going to be? It must be in this direct.
Yeah,
Um,
it has to be.
yeah. What do you think? Is it going to be a brand new Zelda game, a 2D Zelda game, or is it going to be
Mm.
a hashed HD remake? Like,
Are you asking me what I think or what I want?
how about both? What do you think
What
is
I
going to
what I
happen?
want
Well, what do you?
idealistically or realistically?
Let's I mean, you can do both. You can just say whatever you want, really.
I want all the Zelda. I want to know what Grezzo's up to. I want
Me
another. I'm
too.
like in the minority that I prefer the top-down 2D Zeldas. Everyone knows I want Dungeon Maker. Yes, yes, yes. I want to know what Grezzo is working on, and I hope that instead of another remake, I hope that they're working on their own original top-down single-player Zelda
That'd be
title.
cool.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. Yeah, a 2D Zelda single player game from Grezzo. They've been quiet for a long time. So it would be cool to see them
Mhm.
in this direct. What was your fantasy like idealistically?
Zelda Dungeon Maker by Grezzo.
Zelda.
Duh.
That would be interesting. What's probably gonna happen though?
I think it will be just Wind Waker and not Twilight Princess.
I agree that they're not gonna do a twin pack with these games. Wind Waker would be cool like, personally for me, that would be cool because I haven't played Wind Waker, and of course, you guys talk about how really cool it is, and I kinda missed the boat there with the Wii U and GameCube. So, yeah.
I don't even like I've been saying I really don't think that even that's gonna happen at all. Like I just the way that I feel like Nintendo does things, they aren't gonna port a remaster that just came out on the last console. Like I can't really think of
Mhm.
any example of this ever happening before. But then again, Nintendo loves to do things that they've never done before. They're very unpredictable. But also
Mhm.
they're very predictable because people have been talking about this for ages. So I
Right.
don't know. It's like Nintendo works in mysterious ways.
Definitely. But yeah, I could totally see like a Wind Waker, not Twilight Princess this year. But there has to be something Zelda related, right? Like there's got to be something like a Zelda. It doesn't have to be a $60 game, but just something to come out
Even
this
if they
year.
pull another Cadence of Hyrule and like hire another indie
Yeah,
studio to come up with some weird Zelda spin-off, like you're right, the universe will break. It's like dividing by zero. You can't not have the Zelda game on the Switch. You cheater.
exactly. You know,
I will
cool.
say the last thing I want to say with that is when I was playing the Four Swords Anniversary Edition on my stream the past couple weeks, I did notice that this happens to be the 20th anniversary of Four Swords. So they came out with
Hmm.
that anniversary edition for the 10th anniversary. And
Hmm.
it's a really good contender for an online game. I
Ooh.
wonder if they could do anything for the 20th anniversary. Just kidding, they're not. But imagine if they did.
Imagine if they did. I can totally see some online component Zelda thing. They like to do that.
Yeah.
Nintendo likes to do that with Zelda sometimes. So yeah, it totally makes sense. Um, I'm interested to see what they do with Zelda. Last thing I don't see on the docket here, Metroid. What do you think, Rebecca? Like, people have been mentioning Metroid, and I'm like, you guys crazy? You guys high? Like, I mean, I
sooner
don't
or
know.
later we're gonna get a trailer.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we keep saying, nah, it's too early, nah, it's too early, nah, it's not gonna happen. Eventually, it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, yeah. Yeah.
And nobody's gonna be expecting it.
That's true.
Nobody expects Metroid Prime 4.
And then it happened, and then it just closed off forever. It's like not showing it. Man, I just after what the sales figures was for Metroid Dread, like it's good, of course. It's the best selling Metroid game. It's modest numbers, but it's just like I don't know. I just don't know what they're gonna do with, like, if they're gonna do Metroid Prime 4 and just release it, or they're gonna do Metroid Prime HD remake. I hear like maybe the first game, like Metroid Prime 1, do I have like the rumor of the full remake, and then have that out on the Switch. I think that would be actually cool to do. I would be down for that.
It would have to be a full remake for me to get excited about it, because I think it would be pretty lazy if they did what they did to Skyward Sword and called that like a like an HD remaster. And if they did that to Metroid Prime and then didn't make it the trilogy.
Yeah. Yeah,
like if you're not gonna put in a full, like, from the ground up effort, just give us the trilogy. Like, it's not gonna be
just
that
give us
much
voice.
better. Like, I don't see how they can make it that much better unless they do it from the ground up.
Yep. Yeah. But if gut reaction, is Metroid gonna be in this presentation? Yay or nay?
No.
I don't think so either. That's just gut reaction, though. I mean, you never know.
No, I mean, like I said, it's gonna be eventually, and everybody will rejoice when it happens.
How did Metroid Dread get revealed again? Was it at the
It
summer?
was at E3. Yeah.
It was at E3? Cool. I feel like it has its best shot at a summer digital event versus like a random tweet or like whatever type of announcement.
And that's how they showed us that it was in development. It was at E3.
That's true. Along with Shin Megami Tensei 5, the same presentation. And I thought, at that time, oh, Metroid Prime 4 is totally going to come before Shin Megami Tensei 5. Look where we are now.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, I remember that present, because it was those two, and then I think it was Bayonetta 3 as well. At the same presentation. Those three games, right?
Was
like,
Bayo, I think, was Bayo announced? No, Bayo was revealed at the Game Awards a couple months later.
Oh, okay. So it was still the same year, though. Like,
yeah, it was the same year. Yeah. It was. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And look at, here we are now. That was 17, right? 2017, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Here we are 5 years later with neither game.
That's just great. So hopefully Bayonetta 3 comes out this year. Metroid Prime 4. I just don't know. Anyways, Donkey Kong, maybe.
Well, I was gonna ask, do you think there's gonna be another big winter game besides Pokemon this year? Because we were all expecting it to be Breath of the Wild. What's the big winter game?
That's a good question, and that's why I was mentioning Donkey Kong. I want my man back. Either 2D or 3D style. I think it's gonna be more 2D platform. That's just I haven't seen a 3D platform Donkey Kong since 64, and that game. Well, it had its charm. It definitely had its kind of its campiness. Not as the level design was just not as great as Mario 64 personally. But yeah, I would love to see Donkey Kong come back. I just want to see that character kind of flesh out a little bit more. And I just like Donkey Kong in general. So
I think
that's a personal favorite.
It is definitely time. There hasn't been an original Donkey Kong game
since Tropical Freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that got ported over, and that's a good carryover.
Almost 10 years?
Yeah. It's been a while. Actually, I remember playing Tropical Freeze at a demo at the San Diego Zoo. In 2014. Yeah.
Wow.
They had Wii U stations. I'm not kidding you.
At the zoo?
At the San Diego Zoo. And I was able to play Tropical Freeze in the zoo.
That's kind of cool advertising, though.
It's interesting advertising. Yeah, because I was over there because it was our bowl game, our college bowl game for Texas Tech. It was over at San Diego, and I was in the marching band, and we drove over there, and that was one of our trips is to San Diego Zoo, and I just never suspected to see Tropical Freeze as peacocks kind of just walk all around.
That's good. That's funny.
The walkways, yeah. I would love to see Donkey Kong. Anything else? Any other franchises that are you really itching for the winter?
I mean, we haven't had a Mario game in like a 3D Mario type thing in a while.
Yeah.
I know that we had Bowser's Fury and all. Was Bowser's Fury this year? Or was that last year?
It was last year. Okay. It was last year in January.
Yeah, so it's been a hot minute for Mario. I don't even know. Like nothing else feels like it's the right time besides those.
Yeah. I don't know what their major Nintendo game would be in the fall other than Pokemon, and I guess we'll definitely see it at this presentation.
I hope we get the presentation.
That's another thing too. It's like they could totally be like,
we might be talking about this and just have it never happen. Like they just might drop random announcements on Twitter.
Yeah, or maybe 2 weeks or a month later. Hey, here's a direct.
In August, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they are not shackled to the whims of E3 anymore, and I think they know that they just they could do whatever they want, basically. Cool.
I'm not even gonna make the joke that I put in the last bullet point there. People will kill me. Now we will move on to chat questions directly from you. And every single I literally say this every week. I love the questions that you guys come up with. So as always, thank you again.
Awesome questions.
Donnie wants to know, Nintendo puts Shaq in charge of designing the Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. And I didn't know if this was a typo or if this is what he actually wrote. I'm going to read it as he wrote it. In charge of designing the Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 Stupid Edition and Special Edition console. What's included and what's the design you're pitching?
Yeah. Okay, so Stupid Edition stands for like you have this mega statue and the coloring book and then all the gadgets in between plus the console plus the game. Like
stuff that I don't want.
Yeah. The Stupid Edition is all the accoutrements, all the knickknacks and other things other than the video gaming console.
Like good stuff or stuff I don't care about?
It would be of quality, I think. But it would be like $250 of like just like here's a statue of Link doing
so like
his
pretty
slash.
much what they did for Breath of the Wild 1. They came up with like the Master Edition or what was it called?
Oh, I don't know. What's
they
this
had like they had a Master Sword statue. They had the pull-out map, the soundtrack.
Yes,
couple other
all of that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a Stupid Edition.
That's called the Stupid Edition. Yes. Zelda.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
like
so Breath
all,
of the Wild
all the
2. I think it needs to be this. Oh, I don't.
Man, they're selling that
Link holding the broken Master Sword that we see in that one little shot of that trailer.
Oh, that would be cool. Broken. Yeah.
So that, the soundtrack,
Well, how about an art book? You want to throw in an art book in there?
We'll put it in an art book. I like art books. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I feel like we don't know enough about this yet. Some kind of little stupid keychain or something.
Yeah, we could do a
pin.
steelbook.
I need a pin.
You
I need
need
a pin. Yeah.
2 or 3 pins, but not like the complete pin set. That's sold separately. Like you can have like 3 out of the 4 champions, and then the 4th one is like one out of every 10 chance a certain person.
No, that's stupid. That is stupid. I don't like that. Oh man.
Get people's OCD super hard.
Okay, and then the last thing we're gonna include is a little plush of Zelda with her short hair.
Okay, I would be down for that. Yeah. Also a steelbook. It looks really cool, but you don't have the game cartridge at all. Like it's just the steelbook.
Wait, so are we trying to like make this like stuff that is cool but has like something kind of lame about it?
No, not lame. Well, like
why wouldn't it have the game cartridge?
That's the stupid edition, Rebecca. Like,
so yes, we're trying to make something stupid about it.
Well, okay. I mean, there's a lot.
I'm not understanding the prompt.
Well, here's the thing. There's Assassin's Creed editions out there that would be like $220 without the game itself. And it's just a separate skill of like just other different things.
So wait, didn't Final Fantasy do that? They came up with that special edition that didn't have the game.
Yeah, I'm sure like other publishers have done it as well. We're just making up stuff that, yeah, like people would buy for like $200, $300. It may or may not have the game though. Like it's your choice.
Because I don't think I fully understand the prompt, so I'm gonna continue on.
Well, no, I think we answered the prompt, anyways. Okay, we're good. We answered the prompt. What about the special edition console?
Matte black with the Ganon corruption. It's like that purpley red smoke coming up from the bottom of like the Joy-Cons.
Mm-hmm.
And the dock.
The dock just.
No, it's the same thing. It's matte black with that like
purple.
That like the purpley smoke coming up. What color is it? Is it green?
Up.
It's green. I don't know why I said purple. You know what I'm talking about from that trailer.
Yes, I think I understand which one.
The little wispies, the little like.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that come out the things that come out of his hand, like when you're looking at the trailer, his arm, the hand, like that magic. It's green. I shouldn't have said. It's like the greenish blue. I
would be down for that. And then just like any emblem on there, is it like
the broken sword on the dock?
You're into like the dark
not on
stuff
the Joy-Con. This game is going to be dark, Garrett. This is a dark Zelda. It goes every other Zelda is a dark Zelda. This is the one.
I'm down with this. Okay. Yeah, I would like a like kind of a copy design of the Wind Waker Wii U edition. That thing was so cool with the gold like design embroidered just around the controllers and the console and everything. So if you had that green smoke and the magic and everything and just a little bit of like just gold embroideries like around the console or whatever, make it minimalistic still though, I would be so down with that. That would be really cool to see.
It would be. I like that.
Switch OLED.
I think there's a lot of cool ideas. I don't want them to do a special edition Switch console. Because then I would have to buy it, and I own way too many Switches at this time, and I don't want that to happen. So
they're definitely
just a stupid edition. Just a stupid edition. No, they can't. I already have an OLED. They can't do this to me.
They'll sell you a second OLED straight up.
I don't need another Switch, Garrett.
Okay. Maybe Joy-Cons? How about Joy-Cons?
Oh yeah, I'll do Joy-Con. Yeah. Do the Joy-Con.
Cool. Sounds good.
I'm gonna design because I like my idea, so I'm gonna Photoshop this after the show and post it.
Nice.
Delvin wants to know, since Sony has Spider-Man as an exclusive and Microsoft has Indie as one of its licensed properties, what licensed property would you like to have be a Switch exclusive? It can be any licensed property you want. I thought of this very
Okay.
hard when I wrote this question down, and I came up with 2 possibilities.
Okay.
I think the most logical one, I don't know if this is logical, but I think it would be cool, is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a very, very good one. Yeah. I'm down with Ninja Turtles.
I think that's a better answer than my other one, so I'm just going to leave it at that.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'm not too sure, Delvin. Like, I really don't like these exclusives. I think for Switch, it has to be something. I was thinking something kiddie like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I think that's a good throwback. I would like a Power Rangers type of thing going on, like a third person action Power Rangers game that's in the vein of like Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy gameplay, where all your companions come in and like help you as you combat the villain. Oh man, that would be so cool.
That would be really cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Having that as a
Are there
Switch
are there Power
exclusive.
Rangers games? Like, have there been Power Rangers games?
Yeah, the latest one, I forgot what it's called. Power Rangers. It's a 2D fighting game.
Okay.
And it's like they've been pushing out like content like no other. It's Battle for the Grid. There's so much lore in that game, jam packed. It's super cool to see. So many generations of Pokemon, Power Rangers in there. But I just would like to see a third person action Power Rangers game with like your other companions in there. Make it like one of the original ones would be super cool to do.
Nah, I do like that.
But like I was thinking Marvel characters. I was thinking like DC, and I'm like, I don't know if any of them really fits into like the Nintendo. I don't know, aura or like personality in a way. Maybe Squirrel Girl, but like people don't know who Squirrel Girl is.
Never
But
heard of it.
is a charming, bubbly character like Marvel hero that is insanely powerful at the same time. Can talk to squirrels. But yeah, and of course, yeah, XBS says Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 was a Switch exclusive. That's one one-off example, but like other than that, like a property itself being exclusive to Switch, I just don't see much fitting into that. Anyways, I don't like Spider-Man and Indiana Jones being exclusive too, but that's just
I
me.
know we don't. Okay, I didn't know what he meant by indie when he said that. I thought like,
Yeah.
what is he talking about? I didn't know that was Indiana Jones until you just said that. I know we don't like it, but it's part of the prompt. It's what makes it fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Kyle the Pug wants to know if a Zelda golf side game were to be announced at a future Nintendo Direct, specifically, what Zelda characters from older and newer games would you like to see in the game? And which versions of Link and Zelda would you rather see hit the links? Toon Link.
Yeah, no, that's what I was thinking. Just in general. Toon Link. Oh man, I am forgetting. There's a lot of characters from like Link Between Worlds I would love in a Zelda golf game. Like Ravio. Who's the other princess?
Hilda.
I would love to see her in the Zelda golf game too. Although
Tingle.
Oh god, no.
He needs to be in it. I'm sorry. He's going to be in the golf game.
He is like your Toad to me, like, or he is my Toad. I don't like seeing him.
Probably the 4 champions.
Kyle said Derek. Yeah, so definitely Derek.
I want them to like be wild with it. Like I want them to have like Gabora the owl as like a golfer.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Impa. Like I want them to have like
just
like the old version, like the old lady Impa.
I'd be down with that.
I want them to have.
I want Ganon, just not Ganondorf.
Which one?
Yeah,
Just
the Link,
the pig.
the pig. Yes, A Link to the Past. Literally the pig.
Looking up more characters. Well, we gotta have Midna. She's gonna use her hair as a golf club, right?
Oh, of course, yes.
I want them to have. They'll do like Linkle, Lana. They'll probably have all those from.
Why is Linkle a thing?
From Hyrule Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
They'll have like Agatha from Twilight Princess. Oh, they'll have a Great Fairy. There's gonna be a Great Fairy.
Which Great Fairy are we talking?
I don't know. They'll have one though. They're gonna have one.
I like the N64 Great Fairy one.
They're gonna have Maple the Witch. They're gonna have. They're not gonna have Marin from Link's Awakening because she's the best, and like they don't put the best characters in these games. Like they just
it makes too much sense. Yeah. No, I totally get you. This golf game is gonna have a lot of characters though, like a lot of side characters from Zelda.
John 32 wants to know it will be $60 and it will have Battle 9. What do you think why do you think Nintendo doesn't face the same outrage and pushback from fans when a major franchise is delayed, like what happened to Breath of the Wild 2, compared to what happened this week following the Starfield and Redfall news? That's a good question, John.
Yeah.
I think you want to know why, I think?
Yeah, take a stab at it.
We expect it.
You expect what?
The delays. No, before they delayed Breath of the Wild 2, we all said, yeah, there's no chance in hell this game's coming out this year. So when they delayed it, nobody was outraged because we're like, yeah, we saw that coming a mile away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I think that's just what we're used to.
That's definitely one thing. Another thing is, I think it's pretty straightforward, is Nintendo releases games constantly, consistently. We're having our fill, like first party, like we're not have any dearth of first party Nintendo games. There is a dearth of first party Xbox games. There's nothing, literally. Like I'm trying to imagine, there's not a Series X exclusive first party game right now. It's been cross-gen, which is fine, but it's just like that was the start. Starfield and Redfall is like, this is like, and this is just the mentality I'm putting in. I'm sure someone else has a different opinion. That was the start of like the new Xbox. It's like these are the studios, we have them, and we're ready to roll. We're ready to release. And these are the ones that are coming out this year, Redfall and Starfield. I believed Redfall was going to get delayed because we didn't see much. I'm like, okay. Starfield, we didn't see much as well, but they felt confident with their release date a year ago, and they were consistent with Fallout 4. They were like, hey, this is our release date. We release it. And it was there. So I was actually genuinely surprised by Starfield. Anyways.
That's a really good point, because I think with Breath of the Wild 2 delayed, it was disappointing, but I think also, okay, well, I can't play Breath of the Wild this year, but we have Mario Strikers coming out in June.
Exactly.
We have Xenoblade coming out in July. We have Splatoon coming out in September. We have Pokemon coming out in the fall. Like, you're right. Like, there's something almost every month really to look forward to here. So that's a really, really, really good point.
And then Xbox just has, it has Game Pass, which is a great thing. Now they're going to have to leverage it a bit more. It's like, okay, what are you gonna, if these two are not coming out in the holidays, what are you gonna do this year? You're gonna have to pull some tricks, maybe third-party games coming into day one Game Pass or some sort of exclusive. I'm not too sure. But
it's a good question, John.
Yeah. Good question, yeah.
The Don Rob wants to know, with Reggie coming out with his new book recently, what other big name in the video game industry would you like to see write a book like that, and why?
What other big name? Yeah. I would love Todd Howard. I want to get inside his head and figure out how he makes those games. And like, Fallout 4 wasn't that impressive, but I'm just interested to hear the stories. I want to be a fly in the wall in Bethesda Game Studios and just
That would be cool.
figure out how does the development work? How does the mind work of Todd Howard? That's probably the number one game industry person I would go to. Yeah.
Jules in chat said the first thing that came to my mind, Sakurai. But however, I do not want that man to work another day in his life. If he was writing a book, I think that man might drop dead. So maybe somebody else writes a book based on like, piecing together like interviews or things. I want that man's experiences and knowledge and wisdom in a book. But man, I just want him to sleep.
He needs to rest peacefully.
He needs to rest. But that's who I would want to hear from if he had like 10 years to write this book and I read it 10 years from now. That would be cool. That would be good.
Sakurai would be good. I know I think Hideo Kojima made a book or wrote a book. I would like to look into that. Did he? Actually. I think it was recently too. Hold on, let me see. Kojima book. I'm trying to see if he had one. Yeah, Hideo Kojima, the creative gene, how books, movies, and music inspired the creator of Death Stranding and Metal Gear Solid. So, yeah, it came out October 2021. It looks like it was in conjunction with like with a translator. So, but yeah, looks like he came out with one. Yeah, there's some good names out there. I would like to see a book from Jeff Keighley as well. Like I just want.
I'm surprised he hasn't written one.
Yeah, me too.
I'm sure he will at some point.
Yeah,
I feel like he has a lot of knowledge in there too. Anti-Glitches says, outside of directs or Twitter drops, what's another fun way you think Nintendo can market upcoming games? Bringing back Nintendo power.
Nintendo TikTok, let's go.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that would get the kids, certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Nintendo always has their marketing push, like, of course, with like TV shows and like commercials. It's literally commercials and like YouTube and cable television or whatnot. Yeah, I don't know about this. What do you think?
Do you remember, or at least do you know about how they in the 80s made that movie The Wizard that was basically just a big advertisement for Super Mario Bros. 3? I think it was Super Mario
I think I've heard of it. Yes. Yeah.
And the kid travels to the Nintendo World Championships, and it's really just like a big marketing ploy for like that game.
Yeah.
What if they made the Mario movie? It's basically just an advertisement for whatever the next Mario game is going to be. And we learn about it through that movie. Like,
I think that would be kind of cool.
You see them like, there's a copy of the game somewhere and there's like an Easter egg and we're like, what is that? Like there would be some hawk-eyed fan that would see it and then the rumors would start circulating.
That would be kind of cool to see like a hidden game announcement Easter egg type of thing in the Mario movie. Yeah. More than one game too. I would love Nintendo be like a week after the premiere of this Mario game. It's like, hey, or this Mario movie is like, hey guys, there's like 15.
Oh my god.
Hidden, unannounced games in that movie.
Listen,
try to figure it out.
Do you know how if they told us that ahead of time, do you know how many tickets would be sold for that movie of people going to see it multiple times just to try to like find all of them and like report about it?
Yeah, no, they'll go through everything, like just every individual pixel. I'm sure it would get recorded eventually, but so many people would buy multiple tickets.
Yeah.
To find these.
I just thought of like the worst possible thing. What if they said that there were 15, but really there were only 14, and people found all 14, but then they think there's one more, so they're watching the movie over and over and analyzing every little bit and piece and square and frame of this movie just for it to not exist.
Well, I think at that point they'll find more things than 14.
Yeah,
They'll,
things that like are not actual real hints.
Yeah, 25 or 30 things. It's like, okay, it's definitely these 5 are definite. Like
Luigi holds up 2 fingers, meaning there's gonna be a sequel to Luigi's Mansion 3. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be just so many Easter eggs. You know what? God. To be real, I would like to see at least one kind of game. Not cool. Announced, but like just like shown off.
Or yeah,
in the movie. Other than what you're saying, anti-glitch, outside of directs or Twitter drop, I'm just trying to think of like announcements for Nintendo. I don't know. Twitter drops is just the way we receive news. Like that's just one port. That's just one avenue. Nintendo releases a marketing push everywhere. Like not just Twitter. Of course, not just Twitter. They have their own like marketing push to the journalists. Of course, our main platform to communicate is Twitter, but it can be something else too to come out. And that's why I mentioned TikTok. I mean, TikTok is a huge popular thing. Short videos. And like there's ads in there like crazy. I'm sure there's Nintendo ads in TikTok or something like that. So anyways.
I love TikTok. That's like my guilty pleasure. Like I am willing to admit it that I scroll through TikTok and I love it.
Yeah, it's I've tried it. I can't. It's just so fast. I don't have that intentions. Like I just get a little bit confused and like just going to video and it's just like, okay, that's enough. That's fast.
My brain is wired that way where like I can't, maybe it's ruined my brain. I can't like focus on longer pieces of media now as well because I like, the short little bits.
Yeah. That's TikTok for you.
Ghosties99 says, do you think it's weird that Fox McCloud from Star Fox is a fox and his first name is Fox? That would be like calling you Human Stone and Human Bland.
I feel bad for Fox now. Fox, you really got me, Ghosties. Wow, yeah. Why did he name his son Fox?
Questions that will never be answered.
It was Fox's father also Fox, so is he Fox Jr.?
Googling. Fox McCloud.
Fox McCloud dad.
His dad is James McCloud, so he did name his son Fox.
Oh my goodness. James, what are you doing? Why did you name your kid Fox?
I'm trying to is anybody here like a master of Star Fox lore and knows if there's like any in-game explanation for this?
I'm sure Miyamoto will give you a straight answer like he does with every other question. Yeah. I mean, people are XPS is suggesting, hey, there's Peppy Hare and Slippy Toad as well. Yeah, Falco.
Their last name, at least it's like their species, like is their last name.
That's true.
Last names are supposed to be like where you're from or like what you did or like, you know how like last names are supposed to be like that.
The thing is they probably don't know the species of fox too. Like they don't call that fox, right?
What do you mean?
Like in the universe of Star Fox, they're not gonna call the species of Fox McCloud Fox. Like that's a fox.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
I don't know. I like.
Okay, here's what I just read on Wikipedia. I'm actually going to read it as I'm reading it. Names under consideration for this concept of the game included Star Wolf, Star
Wolf,
Sheep,
yes.
Star Sheep, Star Fox, Star Sparrow, and Star Hawk. Miyamoto finally settled on having a fox as the main character after visiting Fushimi Inari Taisha in Kyoto, the head shrine of Inari, the Japanese kami associated with foxes. Inari is portrayed as being able to fly, and its shrines, particularly the one in Kyoto, is surrounded by red arches, giving Miyamoto the idea of a fox that could fly through arches. That doesn't help us on his name, but
that's cool. But it's interesting.
Can I start calling you Human Bland?
Go ahead. That sounds weird. It's just Human Bland.
Human
Bland. Stone.
Human Stone. Okay.
Thanks, Ghost Days.
We're on our last question. I know it's been a long show. Gags wants to know, now that we're almost halfway through the year, what is your 2022 Switch game of the year so far, and what do you think might overthrow it?
That's a good question. For me, even though I didn't play this on Switch, it is Nobody Saves the World. That is my game of the year. It's out on Switch. Yeah, so far. What might overthrow it? Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Starfield's not coming in this year anymore, so other than that, I don't know. I am trying to play some other smaller games on Xbox. I have some other indie titles I would like to play on my Switch, like Crosscode, Buck Fables, stuff like that. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not super. I don't see a game really shining out this year. I just really want to get into the Xenoblade world. I'm sure it'll definitely scratch that itch. But what about you?
I never thought I would say this, but I think Pokemon Legends Arceus is still like my favorite game that I played this year. I think Chrono Cross would probably be my answer. I don't know if that really counts because it's a remaster, and I played most of it before this year. I played about half of it before this year. So I guess I will probably have to say Legends Arceus. For right now, I'm extremely confident that's not going to be my best game of the year. I hope it doesn't even like make my top 5. I anticipate for sure Splatoon 3 being my game of the year this year. I am hopeful that Scarlet and Violet will be better than Legends Arceus for me. And I am still counting on Sea of Stars coming out this year.
Oh, yeah. Sea of Stars. That's another one to be on the radar. But yeah, we'll see. Also, hold on. I didn't show you this. If you guys made it this far into the podcast, well, here you go. I traded in Pokemon Legends Arceus.
What'd you get?
At GameStop. I traded it in for $33, which is pretty good. Yeah, I got Triangle Strategy.
You did it!
I did it.
I think that's a good
triangle.
I think
it's a good trade too. Yeah. I got it for $20. So
that's good. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah. I'm very excited to play it after my insane backlog. I think I would actually probably start this. We'll see how Xenoblade Chronicles 2 goes. If I'm not really enjoying it or vibing with it, I'll probably start this one up. Triangle Strategy. So, yeah.
I'm excited. I feel like I was very surprised that you didn't get that game on release.
Yeah,
I'm excited for you to play it so that you can tell me how it was, because I would never play it, but I am interested in it.
Yeah. We'll let you know. I love the cover art design, by the way.
It's really good.
Yeah, it just looks so like depressing, but it's also we like depressing stuff. I don't know what's up with us. Maybe it's our generation.
I think it is. I think that's how we cope.
That's how we cope.
I really do think that's how we cope.
Yeah, and then also the character art in the back.
Yeah,
very, very nice.
I just love the like aesthetic of Triangle Strategy and Octopath Traveler. Like we've talked in length about the 2D HD, how we love that style, but also like you said, like the character art, like all of that stuff. I just love how that looks.
It looks really good. So I'm very excited to get into it when I have time, or if I have time this year, especially with all the JRPGs coming out. It's just so many.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna get through it.
Feast.
We're gonna get all of our games played.
I'm I'm looking at this year. It's like, hey, Splatoon, after Splatoon 3, I'm breathing room, right? Like I'm gonna be free. I'm gonna have so much time for these other games, and I'm sure
Nintendo is gonna come down with a direct and put out a game every month in the fall.
Yeah, until December, and at least till Breath of the Wild. I'm one. Oh, so there's no release date for Breath of the Wild 2, right? There's no like release time, right?
Spring.
Okay. The typical spring. So I'm guessing. I don't know. It could be delayed more. I could see it like March, April, May next year, somewhere around there. Yeah.
That's spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I can see a game every month between announced, ready to go. Mario plus Rabbids 2. That's another one I'm waiting for a release date for. So, yeah.
There's a lot. There's going to be a lot of games. Can't wait.
Lots of games.
All right. Hopefully next week
made it.
I will be talking about games that I've played.
A game that I played that's on a console.
Come hang out with me on my stream this weekend. On Sunday, I'm doing the showing that panel and then talking about it afterwards. So come stop by for that.
Mm-hmm.
Are you playing? Are you doing anything that you should shout out for? You don't have any.
I mean, I record with Ryan over at the Carpool Gaming group, the RPG Cave. Every week, we talk about, it's very topical. So we go from publisher to publisher, or we talk about specific games. This past week, what did we do this past week? What did we record? We did Obsidian Entertainment. That's one episode that we did. Oh man, what was the last one we did? I can't recall. Dang it. But anyways, yeah, go check it out. Go check that girl.
Yeah, anyone who likes RPGs really needs to go check out your show, because you guys dive into a lot of cool content.
Yeah, the last topic we did was about short RPGs. So what are the shortest RPGs that are also enjoyable and playable?
I need to check that out because I like RPGs, but I hate the commitment. So I'm going to listen to your suggestions in that episode.
Yeah, Ryan has all of them are below, I think like 12 hours or something like that.
That's a good length.
Yeah. So.
All right. That is going to do it, Koopalings. Play good games, and we will see you next week.
Bye-bye.